Space. The final frontier. Man, I love Outer Wilds. It's a game so unique, so beautiful, and yet it makes me feel sometimes a little bit anxious. I've never seen something like it. Like Return of the Obra Dinn is this once-in-a-kind type of video game. If you made it past the spoiler warning, I'll tell you here once again. This is a game that deserves to be played without any prior knowledge. So go on, go play it. I'll wait here. And for the rest, buckle up and grab your spacesuit, as we are going to see how to beat Outer Wilds in 10 minutes. This is the Speedrunner Technique for Outer Wilds. First things first, to begin our brief space adventure, we need to get the launch codes for our spaceship, and for that we need to reach the museum and talk to Hornfels. There are 3 ways to do that. The first one is to actually walk to the museum, but that is neither speedy nor runny. The second one is the beginner's route to the museum, which consists of a series of jumps that lets you skip a huge chunk of Timberhurst's main village. Just after you wake up, jump behind this tree. You need to feel you get stuck behind it, as if you do not perform it correctly, you'll slide into the side. Then, jump onto this tiny corner over here and, from there, get on top of this little branch. One final jump is required to get to a safe spot, and then the path is open to get your launch codes. As I said earlier, however, there are 3 ways to get to the museum, and the third one is the craziest one, and it is also called the geyser skip. To perform it, jump across these 2 rocks and position yourself next to the geyser. Bring out your single scope and align it with this corner right here. Now you're facing the correct angle, so do not move your camera and get to the top of the geyser to the right until you're aligned with this exact spot. Once your position is correct, aim your signal scope at this lock and wait for the geyser to erupt. When this happens, walk forward and, when you begin to rise up, stop inputting any directional cues whatsoever and aim for the spaceship platform. The objective is to land on this tiny fence that reduces our fall damage just enough to survive. You can adjust a little bit your direction in the air, but if the setup was done correctly, you should land safely and reach the spaceship. After that, grab your trusty suit and fly to the top of the museum, where the launch codes are waiting for you. To avoid the stored mask cutscene, jump over the hall of the museum and use your probe and your suit to fly back to the spaceship platform. The cutscene should play there, and once it ends, you should be good to go. After getting the launch codes, the next obvious step is to doze off a little. You need to rest, you've been working a lot lately. Do you want a snack or some cold water? Hey, go sleep, I'll get it for you. But seriously, the next step is to doze off and wait for a time mark to get to the hourglass twins at the precise moment, just like Gandalf. Depending on your strat, the times can vary, so here you have some of them depending on what you did previously. Once you wake up, go to your spaceship and fly away into the final frontier, making sure you are going to the hourglass twins. After reaching a 700 meters per second velocity, slow down and rotate your ship to aim your landing. Ideally, we want to land our spaceship between the twin sun towers and get into the core immediately. If you want to have a little bit of room for that, just wake up 10 or 15 seconds before you are supposed to, and you will have that extra time to position yourself correctly. Inside the core, we need to grab the ATP. This is not complicated, but there is a mini skip you can perform. To get quicker to the artifact, just fly backwards to the end of the platform. Make sure not to miss, however, as the centripetal force is really intense here and getting back to the platform will be a nightmare, so be sure to land that one. Once you have grabbed your futuristic warp battery, get back to your spaceship and go straight up to Dark Bramble. Here you just have to go as fast as 1000 meters per second and aim for the entrance of the hostile planet. As the fog will slow you down, you can reach this speed without fearing for your safety. If you don't miss the entrance, that is. The route to the vessel is pretty much the same, but elite speedrunners act just like Feldspar and ignore the slow and steady advice we were all given. I think that's so beautifully accurate to Feldspar nature. But yeah, I cannot teach you this in this tutorial. Just get good at flying fast while evading building-sized anglerfish, I guess. Upon arriving to the vessel with the ATP, it is time to set our ways to the eye of the universe. In a normal playthrough, apart from being an iconic moment, this also implies slowly walking through the eye until we can dive inside it. However, speedrunners have found a quicker way to get there, as they always do. And that is what Vessel Clip does. Once you have input the coordinates for the eye, position yourself on the front side on the vessel, having the central column and these lines as reference. Then you want to go through that door before it loads in when you arrive at the eye. To do that, start flying towards it and pull up the lever to warp while you keep your momentum. Adjust your direction and speed and pray you don't hit any walls, and with that, you will have performed successfully the vessel clip. Now you just need to use your probe to fly into the next loading zone. Keep in mind that if you miss this clip, you can still warp to the surface of the eye and perform the regular strat, so this is a clip that is free to try. The final thing speedrunners do to shorten the lifespan of the current universe is to optimize the instrument's route to get everyone to sing. This route goes like this: Ryback, then Chert from afar, then Feldspar, and finally Gabbro. Just go directly for their instrument, there's no need to do all the quantum poem thing. Once everyone is singing their favorite tune, just dive into the next universe and wait for the